something about that hair.
Crenus Muto.
That's better. Alright guys, welcome to another video, and today we are going to be showcasing one of my favorite games of all time, and that's Harry Potter Magic Awakened. I have been a huge fan of Harry Potter my entire life. When Legacy came out, it was a dream come true. It was one of the coolest games. I couldn't wait to play it, but when I did, it was kind of lacking something, and it was lacking just some way to connect to players. There was no multiplayer, there was no real social aspect, and this game specifically shines like above and beyond in that regard. There's all kinds of different things you can do in this game that directly connect you to other players, and the social aspect of this game is very unique in that way. So we'll dive right into this. If you watched my first video, you will recognize this character as young Mac Dowden. He's the Gryffindor wizard attending Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. So I am playing this on BlueStacks 5, so the frames might not be amazing, but that's kind of the only way I can do this so far right now. So we're doing the camera on my phone, and then we are doing Streamlabs through BlueStacks 5 to give you guys a showcase for the game. So where we start is in the castle skies. Of course, there's got to be the event windows and whatnot. I'm going to be force fed. Oh, okay, so we're spawning down on the ground. As you can see, I have played this game for quite some time. I played this game basically on and off for about 6 months daily, and over those course of the 6 months, I have met so many cool people along the way. I've created a community of players that stick by each other. It's really, really cool, and it's really, really welcoming and inviting. So I do recommend to anybody who likes Harry Potter to play this game, and it's really, really cool in that regard. So, when I stop getting all of these notifications. Okay, so here we are. We are in front of Hagrid's hut over here, and as we turn around, we can see that we are right by the Whomping Willow and the castle itself. Now, there are all kinds of things you can do in this game. There's 4 modes specifically that pretty much make up. Oh, I'm doing a video, Ash. I can't do this right now. Just for sake of example, this is a person that I have had on my friends list basically since the start of me playing this game, and they are still active, and they're still sending me invites and stuff. And I really want to do this, but we're just at the start of the video, so we're not going to get there just yet. So, the game is split up into 4 game modes, Dueling Club being the PvP, today's classes being a slew of mini-games to do with each of the classes at Hogwarts. We have Quidditch. Quidditch is actually kind of like Subway Surfers. If you run into objects or players being the objects, you lose stamina and you'll get knocked off your broom. But there's points values there for dodging players and for scoring goals as you play through that game mode. Clicked on that. Charms specifically, it uses the regular field of play. So this game is a action card battler. So it has normally a field of play, and your character can move around in that field of play and utilize the cards in your deck. You get 8 cards in your deck, and you get some companion cards, and you get an echo that does different things for you, but we'll dive into that in just a moment. So for the rest of the classes, we have Defense Against the Dark Arts. That is also a field of play. Care of Magical Creatures is a field of play. Ancient Runes is essentially match 2. I really like Divination. Divination is super cool. You get to basically do little doodles kind of in the class, and you get to share them with the characters or the players that are with you. Muggle Studies and History of Magic are actually small quizzes. There is another feature where you can get basically a huge class of people in for one quiz, up to, I think maybe 50 to 60, more than 50 or 60 people in there. I've had one that was more than 50 people for sure. It was a lot of people in there. But yeah, so we have the classes, then we have the Dance Club. The Dance Club is essentially like a DDR mode, kind of a rhythm game. It's honestly one of the banes of my existence. However, I have a lot of friends on here that really, really enjoy this game mode. So it's fairly fun when you get good at it, but when you start to fall behind, it gets a little hairy. And then we have the Forbidden Forest. The Forbidden Forest is the PvE content. And actually, I might as well just jump into that to show you. There's a couple of things that I can show you in here. So the Forbidden Forest is split up into a multiplayer aspect and also a solo aspect. So the solo aspect has all kinds of levels, up to 45 now. So there's 45 separate levels, and then depending on how many levels you have completed, you will gain the ability to collect rewards.
Yeah, boy.
This guy over here, this broken down flying Ford Anglia. Rest in peace. It's seen better days for sure. As you can see, I have a bunch of things to claim. And come on. And yeah, so then we have the solo thing, and then we have the multiplayer aspect. So you have Off the Path that resets on a 14-day basis, and you get rewards based on completion. I personally have completed all of these levels. This is not an easy game mode. I would definitely recommend being a higher level to complete all of this, or bringing in your higher level friends to be able to do this. I specifically have people around my level for sure, definitely to complete this kind of in an easy manner. And then the other modes, we have Into the Woods, Gold, and Echo. I will explain Echoes in just a moment. But these two game modes, essentially, you go through same thing with up to 3 people, and you can gain rewards that way. And Into the Woods Gold is kind of the only way you can get the in-game currency right now, on a larger scale. You used to actually collect it from this Ford Anglia, but they changed that. So now you pretty much exclusively gain gold through there. You can gain gold through other means, of course, but this is basically your best way of doing it. Of course, we have great load screens, by the way. Phenomenal load screens in this game. The art style is fantastic. I've always loved the art style for this game. It has all kinds of key moments from the movies, and really, really iconic scenes there. So as you can see, we come out of the Forbidden Forest back into the overworld. We have Hagrid's hut over there, and we're back over here with the Whomping Willow. I should probably, my frames are horrible. I do apologize about that. We are going to fix these things in the future. And we have a little playful Niffler here, which I believe he's got some gold for us. So we're going to pet him real quick, and we're going to pick up some gold. Thanks, Warner Brothers. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Alright, let's do our daily. So this is actually a part of the current event. You get a fortune cookie, you get a little fortune, and you get to post it on the tree. Enlightened. Score perfect marks. I don't know. We'll have to see. I think you do have to post something, so I wasn't always great in school, but here we are. Wow, my typing. Alright, there we are. So we post that. Doesn't get re-edited, blah blah blah. Like my own ticket. And then we go back up to here. So as you can see, we have other players on here. We do have one NPC, just for sake of having an NPC in the lineup, I guess. Oh yeah, and it's really, really pretentious from Cassandra, of course. Her character is very much the popular girl in school. And then we have, oh, I know Nish as well. They're getting their dailies in. This is also a friend of mine. That's nice. I asked for one and got 100. That's more than lucky. Good for you, kitty. Blackie Vinci, have a good day because it's your choice. I'm having a great day so far. And you know what? That's going to be my choice today, is having a great day. Get lucky at the wheel or prize draw. I don't know. I was lucky yesterday. I tried this recording yesterday, and I pulled a really, really cool card. I will show you guys that in a moment. Always be kind, and you will feel fulfilled. Yeah, see, sometimes being kind doesn't get you the fulfillment you want, because sometimes you just want people to be kind back to you. But there is a lot of this in this game. Like I said, I have been very welcomed. I've been very inviting. It's been very inviting, sorry, and like I said, I've met all kinds of people along the way, and it's been really, really cool to, because I played this game for daily. I've played it, like on and off for so long that I'm with these people, and I know them, and I talk to them basically once or twice a day. It's it creates a sense of community. It's really cool. So we're going to jump into the dormitory. So this is a very main function of the game as well. So every player that comes into the game, once you complete the tutorial and all this stuff, I didn't mention you do get a broomstick. and you're able to just fly around that overworld as well, and you can explore to your heart's content, which is really cool. Right out of the box, basically, you finish the tutorial and you do all this story, blah blah blah, and they get you a broomstick and you can just fly around. It's phenomenal. It's a great feeling. But so the dormitory, each player designated to their respective house, of course. They have a dormitory with up to 4 players, and these players, basically, when you log in, you're in here. There's not too many cool features about it in terms of like fast traveling. There's other ways you can do that in this game, but you do get a potion table in here. You can brew potions. You can share potions and potion ingredients with your friends, actually. In this menu right here, you actually have a cabinet, as you can see, that you can open up. You can actually share any of these things in here and your ingredients as well. I have tons of things in here, so I just haven't really used them all that much. And there's all different kinds of potions that you can make and utilize in this game. Polyjuice potion, of course, and that potion is actually for my roommate just across the way here. I'm keeping it for a special occasion. We have the hair dyeing potion, invisibility potion. This one's really cool. This one you can actually use to sneak into other houses' common rooms. Of course, being a Gryffindor, I wouldn't be able to just saunter into a Slytherin common room. We have the Draughts of Peace for PvP protection for rank points, and we have some healing potions and some stuff for mana regen and stuff for. I believe this used to be a stun. But so now it charms them and makes them fight for you, certain summons to fight for you. The invigoration is for the Quidditch mode. It gives you more stamina when you fall off your broom and stuff like that. And personally, I really like the fact that you can dye your hair in this game, but you can also dye it 2 colors. So I can also mimic my hair color, which I think is really, really cool. So let's see here. So we have our 4. Well, we are actually missing 1 person. Unfortunately, the last guy that was in here became really, really inactive. So it's kind of a gray area. We don't really know what to do. But once it was kind of like a week or 2 or whatever, we don't really know if he's going to come back. So hopefully we're going to get somebody back in there soon. But so as you can see, you can actually customize these beddings or the your bedroom set or what have you. So each one of us kind of has a little bit of a different look for all of our stuff. I clearly got that in a Christmas event, as you can see. And this Hogwarts Express one was really cool. It came from a loyalty reward. I didn't get it, but it looks really, really cool, and I'm glad that Ahmad has it. But one of the coolest things about the dormitory, I think personally, is the dorm details. It gives you a little wheel, kind of like the Burrow in the Weasley family. It gives you a little wheel to show you where they are in the game world. So clearly Ahmad Stark is actually online right now, and he's doing work in the dueling club, so I will leave him be to do that. But we'll take you right into the castle here, and we'll give you a quick show of the inside of the castle, which again I think is super cool. Their grand staircase in this game is true to essentially the movies. I know that Legacy has a little bit of a different look, but of course there's 600 years about 600 years in between these 2 games. This game takes place right after the events of the movies. But so as you can see here, we have the grand staircase. We have all the different classrooms. The staircases actually move. It's really, really cool. When I first came in here, I was absolutely blown away by the look of it. And it's really, really, it's a really cool feeling just to be able to do that and to be able to kind of, go up and down the stairs and see them move and kind of navigate your way through with these moving staircases. I believe this should take us just outside the front door, outside of the Great Hall, I believe. Okay, so it just takes you right up to the castle skies. And one of the newest things actually that I should check out before I dive into anything else is the season shop. So they actually just recently added a vendor in each respective common room that sells certain things that are exclusive to the season, I would assume, for a season exclusive currency. So we're going to check that out really quick, and then I think we are going to jump into a quick duel just to show you guys the actual gameplay. And then we're going to jump into my personal space, which is actually one of my favorite features of this game. It's actually player housing. Not a lot of games have player housing, so it's kind of lackluster in a massive multiplayer game when you don't really have the ability to create your own space, your own atmosphere. So again, it gives the player an ability to just have, you know, something else to come back to the game for if, you know, the game's actual gameplay gets a little bit dry. So we're going to the season shop here. Okay, I've bought all this stuff out. Oh, I used that yesterday to make sure that I could get that good card pull that I wanted. I also clearly spent all of my tokens, so I can't exactly spend anything in here. But as you can see, again, there's some exclusive little things in here. These are voice packs for your spells, which is another cool feature as well. You can actually put in your own voice. Now, we figured out that the other players necessarily don't hear that voice, but every time you cast a spell with a card that has your voice attached to it, your voice will come through the output sound, which is, again, there's little details like that about this game that I think are phenomenal. It kind of just puts it a set over other games that I've played. So we don't have any of those tokens, so it's probably a good time to check out the dueling club so we can show you some gameplay and we can get some of those to hit the shop later. Doesn't seem like there's too much people at all. Okay, actually, you know what? Just because, so my frames are pretty bad, and I'm sure they wouldn't mind, but I don't want to just get in there and just get absolutely wrecked because my frames are bad. So we're gonna do the featured game mode, which is 3v3. We're more than likely going to be matched against some bots, so it's going to be very easy to show you guys the gameplay, but also not get absolutely wrecked. Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't take too long. The matchmaking for this, I believe because they put you with bots, it kind of has a maximum time of a 60-second kind of thing. There was a time in the earlier seasons where dueling did that as well, and there was kind of a bit of a backlash with the players. As you can see, these names on the side here are more than likely not players, but these ones for sure are. It's fairly simple. You can look at them and see. And now, so you'll get a quick taste at the start of this. So the single mode, there's actually two like fields of play here, as you can see. So this would be a solo duel, and then this would be a duo duel. Technically, in duo duel, you would start kind of on the side, you know what I mean, like closer to over here, basically. And again, as you can see, the bots are just not very smart. They kind of just hang around this door here in this game mode, so it's fairly easy to win these game modes. I have played one of these with other players, but I think that was kind of a one-off thing. You have to have enough players in the queue to be able to do that, of course. Hey, get out of here. Oh, did I push him? I think I did. My frames are horrible in this, but I'm just doing this to show you guys the game because I really, really like this, and I really want to make a video on this. We are going to be showcasing more of this game in the future for sure. We're definitely going to be doing some things with the friends of mine I have in here. Personally, I started a group chat in this game that was designated at the players from my original server. So when the global launch of this game happened, they actually took all of the North American servers and they clumped them all together. Now that being said, our server was kind of the dead server, as you could call it, because it was from the soft launch of the game. So there wasn't as many players coming in, and it was really a lot kind of like a close-knit family. And basically what happened is that when the merge happened, I created a group chat and invited everybody from my original server to join, just for that sense of originality. And it actually blew up, and it took off very, very quickly. I was very surprised how quickly people joined up for it. And ever since then, we have all kinds of people that are still active, still using the group chat, still coordinating certain, community events and stuff like that. It's really, really cool. It's very cool to see these people utilizing that idea to its full extent. So we will definitely be doing some Dodo Runner videos for sure. Deer Crawl, Dodo Runner. I thought it was funny. Okay, and so as you can see up here as well, this game mode is timed, and it's actually based on takedowns. So usually the game modes are just based on defeating the enemy. Solos would of course just be, health to 0. Duos, you actually have the ability to revive your partner. So there can be some really, really tense kind of end of the match shenanigans that go on in terms of reviving at the last second and then being able to kind of execute the other team, and vice versa, of course. I've seen all kinds of great finishes, and so there's actually also a way to watch other people play. I didn't really show you guys the knapsack, which I'll do when I come out of this. That's where the potions are, and the new look mirror, which allows you to customize your character, which I'll show you that afterwards, and the watch button, which allows you to watch higher rank players, also your friends, or anybody who's live. Actually, you can watch people in real time, so that's really cool too. So we got 45 seconds here, probably an easy win. I mean, oh, she dodged it. Wow. Alright, let's get that execute. Okay. My game is not working. Come on. Wow. Is that lag or is that frames? Holy. Anyways, we're up 4-1. It's definitely a quick, easy win for sure. But I definitely just kind of wanted to show you guys the way that this game works, you know what I mean? So you play cards from your hand, they come back in, and the ones that you saw me playing on the left-hand side here, so those are your companion cards. Obviously, this Hagrid bike here is one of them. They have very unique abilities, and you use them completely separate from your cards in your hand. Okay, there we go. You have the ability to like each player after most game modes, of course, and you actually after pretty much all the game modes as well, you have the ability to look at your I really didn't do anything because I was talking to the camera, but oh well. You do have the ability to look at kind of all of these stats afterwards to see the DPS, the damage, like, you know, the healing, the mana spent. Pokemans was really going in there. Maybe they had a Niffler or a Golden Snitch going, but they also tank the most damage, so shout out to Pokemans on that. And there we have the rose petals as well. Got a bunch of those. Probably not a whole lot, not really enough to get, you know, a whole lot of stuff in the shop, but I'll be playing this a little bit more, and we'll be getting some of that after the video to definitely be able to get some more stuff from the shop. But so we are going to jump into we're going to jump into the charms section of the knapsack, or the spell book, I should call it. We're just going to kind of show you the decks and how they work. So in each deck you have 8 cards. There are all kinds of cool combinations you can do with this. There's like, people have really you know, nailed down some of these strategies. There is somewhat of a meta to this game now to do with certain echoes specifically. Now the echoes that you attach to each of your decks, they offer very specific bonuses. Each one has a very unique bonus and a unique kind of ability or an interaction with your deck. And then they also, when they're fully leveled up, they have cards that are applied to your deck. They're essentially just +1s or +2 counters for the level of the card, but they can make a huge difference. Once your card is up to a high level or the maximum level and you're adding 2 more on top, it makes the card absolutely devastating. I have seen it happen, and I have gotten absolutely wrecked by them. So in terms of characters, Albus Dumbledore was actually just released. I haven't really dived into him yet, but I'm really excited to get into him as well.
What did he say?
We have the Bellatrix Lestrange, Hermione, Luna Lovegood. Of course, we have Harry Potter. We have Dobby. We have Rubeus Hagrid, Newt Scamander, Severus Snape, Neville Longbottom, and last but not least, the Weasley twins. Yeah, so they all have really cool abilities and things that they do to completely overhaul how you use these cards in game. And you can create some really unique combinations here. And then the companion cards, of course, they are characterized cards, of course, from specific iconic people in the story. We have the Malfoy gang, of course, if you want to get Malfoy, Crabbe, and Goyle out there. I love the fact that one of his specific things about the card is that if any one of the 3 of them get defeated, all 3 of them run away crying. but I think you know, it's still a good card to use if you want some quick damage to put out there. That's still a thing. You know, he still does good damage. But I also just pulled this yesterday. I really wanted to get it on camera, but I wasn't able to. This is going to be a very, very, very powerful card in my deck once I kind of figure out the ins and outs of how to use it. But we'll leave that there, and we will go into the knapsack here, and I'll show you kind of all of this stuff. So you do get an info panel that you get to see all of your information and your match stats. So you have your rank, your social club. Shout out to my ministry girls, the Ministry of Magic. They have been incredibly welcoming and inviting, and have always kind of had a home for me here in game. So I love you guys for that. Shout out to the Ministry girls. You have, so, and this is what I was talking about as well, the deer crawl in parentheses here. So everybody in North America is now in the Ridgeback server, but if you got one of these deer crawl tags on your server, I see you. And then we have the match stats. So I don't think these match stats are all that perfect in terms of getting recorded, because they weren't always recorded as specifically or as perfectly as I would like remember that had happened. But in any case, I haven't really done any dueling this season just yet, as it just kind of started a couple days ago. But as you can see, my total match stats are incredible. You gotta love that 70% win rate on duos and solos, and of course the winning streaks of over 15 wins in a row. And then on the side here, you can see that I've went through quite a few seasons as well. Just goes to show how long I've been playing this. So then we have we'll go over here to check. Yeah, so you do have the ability to upgrade your broomstick and customize it once you have certain different items you can actually put onto your broomstick, which is really cool. I might as well show you that menu as well. So you have these stats on the side, and then you can basically, anything that you've owned before, you can kind of change these or like the foot pegs, anyways. But you can change the shaft of it, you can change what's on the front, you can change the broom on the bottom, and then of course, yeah, you can upgrade them with things that these tokens essentially you get through the Quidditch mode. Photo album and picnic, those are two things you actually have to get through specific exclusive events. I have the photo album, and speaking of the Ministry girls, shout out to them, of course. Oh, we have 3 of us are online right now. Look at that. Oh no, it seems like somebody has left. Or did she change her name? Did she change her name? I think she changed her name. I can swear to God. Ella, did you change your name to Lita Lestrange? I think so. Anyways. So here's the watch button that gives you the ability to watch live. I don't know why it's locked right now. There might not be any high rank players live right now, but again, yeah, so you can basically pick anything from this menu here, and you can watch replays, of course, of high rank duels. And then we have, so this is really, really, really awesome. I love this fact. You actually have fireworks and a camera option. So the fireworks you can basically let off anywhere in the game world except for the library, of course, the headmistress's office, and I believe Hagrid's hut, because nobody wants to set off a firework in Hagrid's hut. It's a little cramped in there. But the camera, they actually have an in-game camera option in this game, and I think it's really, really awesome, the fact that they allow you to take pictures in game without having to take screenshots and what have you, because it also gives you the ability to move the camera around and zoom it and spin it and do all this nonsense with that you wouldn't necessarily be, it just wouldn't be an option in a game like this usually. So I think it's really awesome that they put that in. And then of course I won't bore you with the achievement section. There's way too much in there to go over right now, but the new look mirror, I should force a habit. I always do that. We should move away from somebody. Actually, you know what? We're just gonna go dive right into the personal space, because I can do that. I can do the customization of the personal space. So the personal space is the player housing aspect. You get a main room, and then as you collect certain furniture and things like that, your collection bar will go up, and then based on your level of your collection bar, you start to unlock bigger rooms and more rooms and stuff like that and what have you. My frames are going to be horrible in here because there is a lot to spawn. Come on, holy, it didn't take this long the last time. Whoa. Come on. There we go. Okay. So yes, as you can see, I have taken a lot of time and a lot of detail into this room. There's all kinds of things that just loaded in. I've gotten lots of compliments on this room as well. But so this is your main room that you get at the start. Whoa, I'm clicking on things. Okay, so yeah, this is the main room you get at the start, and I took it upon myself to kind of split it into 2 rooms. So I have a living room over here, and I have a dining set. It was always kind of my onus to try to get people in here to sit at the dinner table and share a meal, which I have done once before, and it was definitely a really cool memory for sure. And yeah, and then you have doors that you can put into other rooms, and I think that's actually really interesting. I haven't noticed that before. You can actually see into the other room. Though that is furniture that is in this room over here. This room should load a little quicker, not gonna lie. Oh, of course. Or we have a cutscene that is going to lag out all of my stuff. Can I skip this? Why am I seeing a cutscene? Like, I don't understand this. I mean, it's cool enough. Yeah, you think it's funny, do you? Alright. So here we are in my other room here. It's a little bit more unfurnished. I don't really have too much stuff to fill this up, because as you can tell, I've put quite a bit into that first room. But just to showcase the fact that you do have other rooms you can utilize. And I've set it up basically so that the main room is kind of connected to these 2 other rooms, and you have to essentially pass through the middle room to get to each room. But so we'll dive into the new look mirror really quick here. Oh my god, my frames. You know what? We're not doing that here. We are going to do that somewhere else. Oh god, I gotta we have the new look mirror and all kinds of really cool customization options here. You are able to get different owls, different wands, different clothes. The outfits are kind of full body exclusive, which I have mixed feelings about. I mean, it'd be cool if you could put on separate gloves or separate shoes or whatever, but generally they're... Excuse me, sir. Thank you. You can put different hats on, different scarves on, and whatnot, what have you. And then your depending on what wand you have, if you do have a higher rarity wand, usually they have different effects and different emotes you can get, which I think is really cool. And then this knapsack I have wearing, it actually changes the look of that knapsack icon, which I think is really cool. And then the owls, they actually change your chat bubbles in the chat. So as you can see, I've now confirmed and I'm not wearing the knapsack, so you can see that it's just a little different icon down here. So I will put that back on, and then I will show you guys the chat, and I think we're going to take a little spin through the skies over Hogwarts. I think that's going to be it for the video, guys.